Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma, with the best host, Claire Bass.
I know when John's here, I don't even know which. Did you call me the bestest host when he wasn't here?
No, it was better.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Well,
what's up, Slater? Kenneth and Vic. Sorry, are three real ones.
The real ones.
Kenneth left for a little while.
Hey, you can't say only three. I see a 22 up there. So.
Oh, that popped up out of nowhere. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
It's Friday.
And then wait, did you say Kenneth you didn't see for a while and now he's back?
Yeah, Kenneth kind of left. Like he left the chat for a little bit and then he came back. Braden's been around pretty consistently. Jeremy when he wakes up early enough.
Did you see that one of the it was on maybe last week's show or something, the comments that come after the show, so not during the show, one of them was like, I think it said something like came for John but stayed for what did they say? I was
they didn't say for me.
Yeah, they said for me, but what it was like not really a good thing. Not like something like how naive I am or something along those lines. Like nice. Claire's naive. I could pull it up. But anyway, yeah, it was just funny. So I was like, oh, okay, great. That's what we were going for. Happy to be here. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
You had some interesting attachment to the guys that were on Boys Interrupted last night.
I did. Yeah. Rakve and Bjarne. I don't know what the words are. They're on the Icelandic team or team.
I actually would like for you to go ahead and do your best to pronounce their first and last names if possible.
I have no idea what their last names are at all. I do know how to say their first names, and we're going to keep it there because I said them right, by the way. I've worked on it.
I'll pull it up. Let's see. Not that one.
No get up this morning. What does that mean? What is get ups is capitalized?
No, get up this morning. Get up this morning. So get to be here live.
To be here live.
Oh, I don't know. Is that no work this morning? I'm not sure. So it's ROKKVI.
Yeah, Rakve.
Rakve.
Yeah.
Not V. Ve. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then Goodnesson for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bjarne. Okay, so every time we see the E, we need to stop saying E and say, or the I, we need to stop saying E and say A.
Yeah, it's A.
Okay, we're learning. And then Leafs, I don't know.
Yeah, but like when they like, it's like you can't. It's like blends is like one syllable, even though that's for sure. It's clearly 3 to 4. When they say it blends is 1 all the way through. I don't know how when they speak Icelandic, it's so fast.
Yes,
it's so fast, and
I do love it.
Yeah, it's good. When Gucci was here, so obviously she would talk to me in English, but her English isn't as good as Jan's, her boyfriend. And so if she couldn't figure out what to say, like basically she would have like Icelandish, like she would have English Icelandic like overlap, very much like how in South Florida everyone speaks like Spanish English, like it's like yes. Within the same sentence. She would do the same thing with Icelandic, and so it was interesting. But anyways, I write the team session today, which they're doing right now, which is cool. It's kind of neat. It's definitely totally new experience for me. So they're all doing Spanglish. There you go. Perfect. God, what a bad movie, by the way. Like for sure the worst Adam Sandler movie ever.
It already, yeah. If it was a bad Adam Sandler movie, I'm sure it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just to be clear, I love Adam Sandler movies.
He's had his moments and he's had his not.
I mean, there's way less nots.
Yeah, I'm not. This is definitely a John conversation, or literally anyone other than me. I just know I've seen somewhere. I'm like, okay,
you just have to like his genre, of goofiness.
Yeah,
it's a very specific thing.
And sometimes it's executed well, and sometimes I feel as though maybe I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like the storyline. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't work.
I don't think Adam Sandler has had a worse movie than Spanglish.
Maybe there's in general references.
Yeah, I think that might be his worst.
Oh,
Oh,
and
the twin movie. The twin movie was really bad.
for what it's
Anyways.
worth, there are really good ones. I'm not saying there are.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I've seen some that aren't. Get Up is my 2 hours every day for other sports, by the way, is what Clyde
Oh,
said.
Get Up. Oh, yeah, this the ESPN show. I understand now.
Yeah.
I saw it. Okay, Jack and Jill. Yes, that was. Hey, CrossFat's here. There he is. CrossFat with our working, our live, like our AI encyclopedia in the chat. That's what he is, basically.
What's your top 5, Adam Sandler? I couldn't even do that. This memory of mine. I could pull them up and then we could go with that. But I would need to do that. I couldn't just rattle them off the top of my head. Okay, so you said that you're writing the workouts that they're doing. So what are they doing? Team workouts all together once a week right now?
Yeah, they have a team session. So depending on all of their successes or how all of their individual semifinals play out, they're all doing French. Gucci's doing Mad. And so depending on how they play out, they'll do team semifinals and hopefully they go to the games. And so that'll be cool.
That'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. So did you watch that episode with them on Boys Interrupted?
I didn't. It was like right in the middle of, I think, nap time maybe. So I had to pause it. But I didn't go back to it, unfortunately.
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they definitely, like, it was like a 37-minute episode. So they did a really good job of just kind of like, let's ask a bunch of questions really fast. And I thought it was also just nice that they gave those boys that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was cool. I think Boys Interrupted is doing a good job of bringing on people, right? Athletes, like they brought on Jay. And I think that's good in the space in general.
Well, in the overarching, like, I feel like every time, so, also the girls now doing theirs, they had Paige on yesterday. Of course, they had Jeffrey yesterday. Yeah. Adler on last week. Anyway, every time other athletes come onto their podcasts, it seems to be the theme is that the other athletes are like, this is awesome what you're doing. Like we also think this is really cool.
Right.
And are really happy that you're doing it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we want. I mean, I think that's the kind of content that's maybe a little new. Obviously, they're not interviewers in general, but I think they do a good job. It's fun. It's it's very candid and relaxed and just overall good time.
I thought it was cute. I think Dent's reposted Fee's like behind the scenes picture of it, whatever. And you could see her little notes down in the bottom. And so I think you could see like the top line of like question. Anyway, I love that. I certainly remember, I mean, notes are always wise, but I remember when I first started doing my own podcast that I definitely had, more preparation on paper. Yeah.
When I did this initially, I interviewed a few people. I was trying to decide if that was my flow. Do you know what my first show was?
No.
It was Voice of CrossFit. My first show, like my first solo show. Sean Woodland.
Thank you.
It was the day that he got. Like, it was the day that he got fired.
The show I didn't know about. No, you're referring to a human. Okay, yes.
It was the day. It was the day that we found out he wasn't going to be at the CrossFit Games. And I was like, hey, do you want to get on the podcast? Like, and he just 10 minutes later, he said yes. It was so cool.
Wow.
And that was the only show I ever prepared for ever.
I didn't know, because we of course had that conversation with him at Legends last year. I didn't know that you had previously met, I guess, online, but I did not realize
there's like a solid chance that he didn't remember, which is fine. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. So,
sure.
And I thought it was a good show. It was a tough one. It was a tough one because, can only say so much, right? And so I think we talked way more offline about the current media landscape at that time, right? Which would
be an interest. That'd be kind of a trip to just go back to. And see what you guys were saying then and what things were like then versus now.
Yeah. And so it was cool. So the Icelandic boys were on. Oh yeah. This is cool. I didn't know you lived in Tallahassee. So yeah, his we went through kind of just his past, and then it was hard to pull out stuff at that time because it was kind of no one was saying what everyone thought about the media and the people that were in charge at the time, and it just wasn't the gist.
Mm.
Wasn't
Did you
like
feel like you guys didn't get a lot of?
We didn't get the juice.
Yep, got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just wasn't ready to divulge that sort of thing.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Absolutely.
But it was cool. It was cool anyways. It was fun to have him on.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you send me?
All sorts of stuff.
I know. I woke up to your text messages. I slept in. I had my alarm set, and my phone started vibrating just like incessantly because there's like a time when people just start texting me. And it's like 6:40. I usually it's weird. It's like really like it's very consistent to like 6:30 to 6:45. I get a pretty quick dump of text messages from athletes on the East Coast. And it's like intertwined with your text messages. And I was like, why is this going off? And I was like, oh, it's 6:40. I was like, oh, I slept pretty good. And then I was like, I think I'm supposed to be awake right now. You're gonna need to like get up. And it takes you a second to like, process that. Oh, yesterday, 2 days ago. So Bennett's been home sick all week, and I had 2 nights of all-nighters with him.
Oh man.
And so
all-nighters.
Yeah, I slept in his bed on Wednesday. I slept, but we slept together. He just like, it was funny. He would just wake up. He was having a coughing fit, and he would just like reach his hand over, and he'd be like, and then he'd reach over to make sure I was still in the bed, and then he'd stop crying, or he'd go over and he would be like, cup, and I'd like reach over and grab his cup.
Shut up.
Like in a slumber.
Ooh, that's funny.
In a slumber.
When in doubt, just ask your dad for things.
Yep. And so that next day, so it had to be Wednesday, he slept for nap, which was the first time he'd slept for nap in a couple days. And so I like was in our bed, and I crashed out for an hour, and I woke up at exactly 3:18, and I woke up and I was dead set to the world that it was like I had slept till 3:18 in the afternoon from the night before, and then I had missed my entire day. Like I was just like for like 2 minutes.
That's a strange experience.
Well, because like the nap was so hard, like it was such a hard nap. You woke up and I was like, I have no idea, like no concept of reality right now. And I was dead set that I was like, why is it 3:18? And I was like, why is it bright outside? Because like I slept. So because I usually, if I do nap, I don't usually nap like in our bed. I'll nap on the couch or something, or in the office, like right here. And then I was on the other side of the bed. I was on my wife's side of the bed just because that's where the monitor was.
Yeah, so everything was backwards.
And so I had slept there a couple nights the past few weeks because she's been on the couch because she's super uncomfortable, and because she's pregnant as fuck. And so I woke up and like all the situation was like, oh, I was sleeping at the night, and like it's 3:18 in the afternoon. And I was like, what's happening? Like why is it 3:18? Is Bennett here? Is it the weekend? Where's parent? Like all the things. I was just like, this is crazy. Anyways, Brand. Oh yeah, cup. So Bennett has been pretty sure he had like a adenovirus and
adenovirus?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's just like a respiratory.
A flu of sorts, or no?
No, it's just like a respiratory virus.
Okay.
With like some GI problems. And so he was drinking a lot of water, which is great, but he's not eating at all. And so he just like basically every time he coughs, he's like, cup, and he'll take like the smallest little sip, just go, just enough to like stop the cough. And that's it. But I mean, he's drinking like 3 or 4 of his little 16-ounce or 20-ounce cup a day. Anyways, we're going through a lot of undies to be
yeah. I mean, at least he's staying hydrated.
He is staying hydrated, but he's not eating at all, like at all. Anyways, so
fun week.
Hmm?
Is he feeling better? Do you know? Is he like gradually starting to come out of it? Okay, well that's good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yesterday was fine. He's usually he's pretty he's pretty resilient. He gets through things pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely fun to finally meet in person, to just be like, I guess it's been less than a year, but it's been, if I started with you in June or July, I think July, then say, I don't know, 9 months or something before I met him in person. And the number of times I've heard you be like, he is all boy, or, whatever. Right. And then to like meet him and be like, I get it now. I understand what you're saying.
Right. Yes. Yeah, you get it.
And I love how now that I've met him, and I don't know if that is actually related to it at all, but how conversational he is. Like he's very engaging. Anyway, it's just fun. He's got a big personality. And it's
oh yeah. He's once he's comfortable with you, we talking.
Were you like that at all when you were younger?
I don't know.
You don't know what your personality was like?
Nope.
Oh gosh, that reminds me. My sister asked me a question. I guess she's a nurse and she's now caring for someone who was one of our elementary teachers. And so she asked me like, hey, do you remember so-and-so? They did this. And I was like, I remember that did this. So I remember that we had a teacher that did that, but I don't remember anything else. Anyway, and then we were just both like, yeah, neither one of us have a clue. Like the number of, I don't know. I don't know how normal that is to feel like you don't remember a lot of details.
Oh, I don't remember anything. Perrin remembers everything. Perrin remembers like every teacher name, every classmate, family structure.
Nothing.
What they did. I don't remember shit.
Huh.
There are certain from college. I don't remember shit from college. I'm very confident we're like, there's only a certain amount of like neurological issues you can have before you start having memory lapse. And I feel like I'm like in that boat. And I have such a poor recollection of like working memory or like, so like, just like my life stuff, but maybe such a deep recollection of like didactic information. Like
I was going to say, there are certain things that you recall.
Knowledge stuff never is like never fleeting, but like, sister.
Yeah, he's single. They like try to hook him up on the Glinton Things show all the time. I think like they're constantly looking for him for a woman.
Who?
Jeremy, the one who said sister ?
Who's he saying sister?
I referenced my own sister.
Sister.
I don't frequently talk about her on here, but I do have a sister. Yes.
This was so Nelson. I meant to tell you this. So he calls Nelson Nelsa, like Elsa from Frozen, but Nelsa.
Oh yeah.
But Nelson taught Bennett how to swing on the swing. I couldn't get him to figure out how to like kick his legs and like pull him back. And so Nelson was like long legs, short legs, long leg, and he loves it. He can swing now a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they they played on the playground.
Yeah, they definitely, while he was there. Yeah. Okay.
All right. In order.
I mean, I don't know if you want to just rattle through. I sent you all sorts of stuff. I mean, there's a handful of things. I think one of the ones I sent you, the latest, was the Xenom. They're doing like a gym tour, which is interesting. And I sent you the post about that.
All right.
It was the most recent thing I sent you. I'm just steering us back to CrossFit. We can keep talking about other things.
What was I going to say? Oh, I did want to talk about this thing that the CAC put out that sort of like surfaced yesterday about there has to be 3 people in a division for it to count, which I totally agree with, by the way. But I have a 70-year-old that like paid for Del Mar.
Carey.
And
she's my favorite.
And like right at this point, she's like, it's just going to be a waste of money. And it's pretty shitty. I just don't understand.
I don't put this out. So the Athlete Council put out something yesterday stating that in order for athletes to qualify from their qualifying events to the games, there need to be at least 3 individuals in that age group or whatever. That's what you're saying? I don't see how they can reactively place that in there, especially considering, I mean, I guess, we'll see. Maybe it
No,
fills out fine and it's not an issue.
I
Am I
don't think it was
misunderstanding?
reactive. No, it was voted on prior to the season. I just don't know. I just think that it's
Where was that in the rule book? Like where, or
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even
I
know
need to
what I'm referring to when I'm saying that. Like,
right.
have any athletes seen this, I guess? Like, is this
I
just
mean, they
news to
have now
everyone, or were they aware
since
of it before?
they have seen it since CrossFit Network posted about it. I assume there's going to be comments on the post. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it definitely is like at the end of the day with whatever's going on in regards to
In
signups
March.
for live events, that's when they put it out. Well,
Um,
it's not the athlete's faults if this is unfolding the way that it is.
yeah, for sure. I agree.
And
I
they
also just
do
think that
need
it's
the
so
opportunity
weird.
to qualify. And if they want to do it in person, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so I have a lot of opinions on this, and we'll go with like the one that matters to the athletes the most. It's not their fault. It's irrelevant. If athletes don't want to travel and sign up, then so be it. It's the same benefit of traveling to Asia when the quality of athlete is much lower than Asia. If you want to put the time and effort to go and compete against athletes that you know you're way better than, that's the whole thing. That's the
Mhm.
whole gist of
Mhm.
competitions that are regionally qualifying based, right? Like if it's somewhere the other side of the world and you want to go compete against people that are not as good as you and you
Mhm.
have the money and you want to commit that effort and whatever too, then it's fine. Then that's what it is.
Well, and based on the structure, they're just following the structure that currently exists. So you're saying that's
Right.
fine, and literally that's what at least
Mm.
this year, that's how that works. So it is fine.
But I also understand and agree that there should be some sort of minimum, but it should have been established a way longer ago. It's weird that they established it in March as if like, I think this might happen, which is mind blowing to me. Like, how would
Uh-huh.
that conversation even have come up?
Uh-huh. I don't know.
You know what I mean? And so like that's something very concerning. I don't know, concerning to me, maybe.
I
Just
suppose
it's a strange one to me because I don't know how that conversation would even come up because intuitively to me, there's going to be fighting to get the Del Mar spots across all age groups, but I guess not. And then that opens up the whole point of the next piece of this conversation. But like Rose only has 3, and
so that's 60 to 64.
yep. And then Jen's 45 to 49
So there
and
are
is
more there.
stacked.
Yep.
Like, but again, it makes sense that the lower age groups are maybe a little more full, but again, it's not even that full. And we're talking like 6 to 7 people. But I don't know. It's just it's I don't understand it. I'm very confused on why people aren't going. But it also just bodes to the everyone was excited for Masters, and I certainly was too. And Masters continue to give them reason to not give them more stuff. Like if it doesn't fill up, there is no way that Masters have a in-person qualifying chance next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll go away.
It's also interesting. I mean, the age groups, the age division, I don't actually know yet, but I'm just recalling from last year that like NorCal had very full heats of every age division.
Yeah, but that's different. I think the concept of an established competition at this point is way more valuable than a name.
And so I think that we from NorCal, we're not qualifying age group athletes. So it's just there'll be
Right.
a number of age group athletes competing. I mean, I literally onboarded 2 of them yesterday in an academy that are competing at NorCal and in age groups. Anyway, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great turnout for that. And so that, like you said, it's got history. It's got, people have been doing it for a long time and they know the experience is great. So this is definitely, and Clydesdale's been talking about this a lot every day. So I wonder if they have had any conversations. Like basically, I'm just curious, the organizers of the events, I guess, after the fact, maybe how this went for them,
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have Joe on and chat with him about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that I don't know. I feel like those guys are pretty resilient and they're probably just like, just
I
fine.
just hope
Like
they
they've
don't
been
lose their
running
ass to
successful
the point
events.
that it's like, hey, we can't do this again. Because Del Mar would be sick.
But do you
And
think that's what's going to happen with the current registration? Is that possible? Like with where we're
Yeah,
at
for
right
sure.
now?
It has to be. I mean, there's no way they're going to make money. The whole point, like competitions have to be full to make
And they
money
have to have registration.
with
Sure.
that kind of rental, right? It's not like, you know, other competitions where like you just pay for a parking lot, right? And you
Well,
pay $100.
and how much support are they receiving from HQ to run this event? Are they receiving any sort of support other than the right to call them? Like, I don't know. Do you have any idea?
Oh, it's for sure zero. Yeah, CrossFit doesn't give any money for this stuff.
Nelson said I had 3 athletes get invites, and I told them all to decline except one who could use the in-person experience. The mistake was
right. And so
romanticizing Del Mar. It's not
all of those things are true. And then I think the timing is just rough, right? Like just the way that it went about. They should have just done a qualifier, right? Like, I mean, they should have,
online.
yeah, they should have, like bit the bullet, let everyone whine about it. But also if you look at European, if you look at like the French and MAD, they had qualifiers and they're going to be full, even though they are dead in the middle of everything. They're super close, but they are a little bit later. I think the narrowness from
Proximity.
quarterfinals to the invites. So now we only have 2 weeks to Del Mar. Then we have 1 more week to Magic City, and then 1 more week to age groups. And so because they are all before, and because there wasn't a qualifier, people haven't been able to prepare, and they don't want to go. Right. And so now with this being said, I think they'll show up a little bit. I don't think it'll be empty. Right. But this sort of comes back to is, everyone says bring regionals back, which I think is such a dumb statement. I do think we should bring back geographically based next level competitions.
So you don't think that, okay, you think that we should bring back geographically.
Yeah. And so they're going to call it regionals, but obviously we're not going to be able to do that. That's just not financially, it's just not a thing anymore in this space. But if the Southwest of the country was going to this was like the West again, more people would go, more people would sign up. All the things would happen.
Yeah. So did you watch the problem from John Wood that was like 42 minutes long?
No.
Okay. I think you might actually enjoy more in that episode than you anticipate.
I mean, I watched some of it because you asked me to.
It was also fun. He mentioned Kevin because he was saying, you could run some of these events in affiliates that are the appropriate size and could, actually handle something like that. Obviously not the size, but basically he was just saying, if we're just competing in these places that we aren't filling up by any means, then why are we doing it in that way? And could we be doing it in a different way? That whatever. Anyway, I thought he made some good points to consider there. And so he referenced Kevin and Coda, and that was cool. So I sent it over to Kevin.
Yeah, I think there's certainly a way. There's some way to do this. I don't know if Masters let me be clear. I think this is cool. I hope bring back national champions. Oh my God, don't do that. But we certainly sent 300 people to the CrossFit Games, and they all loved it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Not seeing Del Mar full is like a shot to the gut for me. It really is. I don't know. I mean, there's for sure there's a way to do this for a geographically based competition, and we can call it regionals. That's fine. But we just have to find First Cup was arguably the best workout ever ever written. Most ability to do its job was arguably the best workout ever written in the CrossFit Games.
Do you have the recall to say exactly what that was?
Yeah, it was 4 rounds.
I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember it.
400-meter run, legless rope climbs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know there were rope climbs
and squat snatches. 5 rounds, 6 rounds. Let's see, first cut.
Were they legless or were they?
Yeah, they were legless for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 400-meter run, 3 legless, 7 squat snatches.
What was the weight on the
4 rounds? 185, 130. Because why not? Okay. So But with this regional thing, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Yeah. This is true. Yeah, it's like one spot for a competition versus 15 online. And it just gives them the opportunity. Why would anyone want to go? Because masters have been asking to compete in person for 10 years. And so that's what they did. This is everyone's like, "Oh, Dave doesn't listen." That's not this year is a very big indication that that's not true. Dave never walks back decisions, just to be clear, ever. He never walks it back. And they literally walked back quarterfinals. Like, we have something, we took it away, we brought it back. That has never happened in our space from a competition aspect. Not once. He's never gone back to an old way. He's very, very vocal about never going back to old ways, even if they worked. He doesn't do it.
We took away quarterfinals and then brought it back.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying he is listening. So that's why I'm like, so
okay.
This is the first year that that it's clear that they're listening. They only gave masters in-person qualifiers because they asked for it. And now here it is. And then it's going to shit the bed again. Just like masters need, well, hopefully it doesn't, but hopefully Magic City has way more people, but Magic City is the week before age group qualifiers. Right?
Yeah. So they really have to make a decision about which one they're going to which basket they're dumping your eggs in. 70% of what CJ says. Maybe I am. I'm sorry. I don't know.
And so I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that there's change, but now it's going to look like a bad decision. Right. And I don't think it was.
In real time, we are all certainly reacting to this because yet again, we care, right? Like, we're deeply invested in this. And so how this is unfolding is very relevant to us, and in this moment unsettling because we feel really like unclear about what this is going to look like, etc. But I mean, yet again, it's still consistency in the way that the season unfolds is something that we all know that we have yet to experience. There's always some changes in some way. So anyway, they're trying this year, and we're reacting because we're nervous. And then they'll probably, if this is not effective or doesn't go as well as, isn't it, like you said, if they're not, especially if it's going to be, the organizers are going to be in trouble over it. That's certainly don't want to see that. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, yeah, that's why I guess I would be really curious to be able to converse with these guys after the fact and just see how did it actually go for them. Because you want events to be successful. Like we really
I only want them to be successful.
Big time.
Yeah, that's it.
And so knowing that they potentially, anyway, we'll see. I don't know. They're going to fill the spots even if they have to go to 1,347.
Well, there isn't 1,347 70-year-olds
in the open division.
There wasn't. There's not even close to that.
In not the age groups.
Yeah, in the open. Yeah, I mean they'll fill those. I think that's not a problem in the younger age. Younger age. Yeah, and it's hard to get to California. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. All right, you said Xenon.
Yeah, I sent you a little
thing.
Yeah, I just think it's cool. I just saw it yesterday that they are doing a gym tour. And then I think if you actually, maybe I should click on that link and send it to you so it takes you directly to that section of their site. That might be a better move. Just because the tour itself, when I read about it, some of these gyms are going to be open to non-members for these. And then some of these gyms, oh, you're there. Okay, cool.
What do we think's happening right here? Is this like Dance Dance Revolution?
It sure looks like it.
Well,
I have no idea. Well, that's the X for Xenon.
Oh, okay.
And then
I was going to say, there's got to be something. There's got to be something.
Maybe they took the barbell out from underneath of the image. They removed the barbell, but the athlete is jumping over the barbell. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it seems like a really cool, like they're going to bring some of the workouts to those gyms locally the week leading up to it. And for the ones, some of them are just open to members exclusively, and then some of them are open to others. And so I don't know. I mean, just coming in and getting involved in the community, I'm excited to see this grow and unfold. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just the event. It is the event, but then, and I'm also, I'm wondering like who all is going to be involved, with all of those activations
gyms.
Yeah. Cause I mean, that's like bread and butter stuff for me, like I love that sort of thing. So
let's see. Do we know any of these gyms? Probably.
I actually recognize the name. I think like North Dallas, that sounds familiar. I think that the one that I always drop in at when I go to Dallas is not on the list. That's the one that Chasing Grim is a member at now.
The gym,
D-Town,
which is his gym, right?
No.
Wasn't that his gym that he sold?
No. I took this is where my recall is awful because I took my level 2 at the gym that he owned when he owned it.
Oh, okay. It was the same one? I thought he was just a member at his own gym or the gym that he sold. I could be wrong. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be
different gym.
Big D. There we go.
There we go. That's the one that he owned.
JD gives us the information of Big D. Thanks, buddy.
Which, never mind.
I mean, and so this is like, so that because we're jaded and the fans don't want to watch it as much anymore. I mean, that's just really it. Also, it's substantially easier to travel everywhere in both of those. Everything's close, right? Everyone knows they all make it a trip for the Torian. It's like the thing every year. It's sort of like Wadapalooza. Torian is like the Wadapalooza of Australia, and it's extremely easy to get everywhere in Europe by train in a couple of hours and not expensive. And that's for sure the biggest thing. And then I think the communities are still like you're able to go watch your friends and your buddies and your gym members still go at a lot of these, which I think is a huge factor that the States just doesn't have anymore, i.e. the regional thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do like the idea of, like you said, the regional being more accessible to the friends and family. I like that. I think for the sake of like us being a community driven thing, I like the idea of it.
I don't know.
Okay. WFP released their workouts. Do you want to take a look at those?
Sure.
For London. I sent you the link to that as well. And I have not looked at these. I figured we could just scope them out. There's 6 events and one of them is a 2-part. But that's the extent of what I know about them. So this is for London.
Oops, come on.
Are you referencing kipping? Are you referencing one of the WFP workouts?
I haven't said anything. Oh, probably. Grant also thinks Grant and John are very similar humans in the sense of they think they're way better at a lot of things than they are, and they only base all of their assessments of CrossFit on their own ability. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, that's a wild thought to think that you would beat James Sprague at anything ever.
All right, here we go. 25 toes to bar, 500 meter run, 15 overhead squats. Spicy. I like that one. That's a very good WMG combo. Very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And good volume. I think good volume around 15 overhead squats at 185. 125 is right at that number where people are unsure that they're going to be able to go unbroken for the entire time. They will. They'll need to be good, but it's a tough one. So this, I don't know what a short rope means, but if the rope is already arguably too short for men if they can jump.
Yeah, Oh, that is interesting.
And so this is just I only have a 12-foot rig. And if it's a 12-foot rig,
just don't put a rope climb in there.
It's dumb. Or you
start
do
them seated on the ground,
or
right?
you do legless seated where your feet have to come off the ground first, because that shit was fire.
That was good.
That worked so much better than I thought it was going to work.
Yeah, I think the adhering to the standard of keeping the feet off the ground, etc., that was a really challenging thing for the athletes to do. For some of them, of course, for some it was not, but yeah, it was great.
But if it's a 12-foot rope, this is gonna be dumb. Like, not fun at all. Like, not fun at all to watch. Even at 8.6 in that volume, because it's only one grab, right? Guys jump to 9.5 feet. They grab it once, maybe 2 grabs, and they're up. And it's not legless. So,
do you think as like a pro athlete, like, do you think you see that and you're like, why though? Are you like, okay, yay, sounds fun?
What short? No. So Scott said legless seated has a bad look when people hit a wall. Ours wasn't legless seated. It was a legless start to a short rope, or to a rope off the ground. So they had to legless to, the rope was a few inches off the ground. And so they needed to start their first 5 or 6 grabs, or not 5 or 6, 2 or 3 grabs before they could lock their feet. And it stopped them in their tracks. But no one, I mean, people certainly were at a failure point, but for this on a short rope, it worked really well. And they only had to do 2 or 3. So it was just a legless start from a seated position, like a true seated legless start. Maybe it's a cut rope, but it would say cut rope. It would say cut rope. Anyways, all right. So 27-meter handstand walk. So was that 90 feet? It says it right there. That's a good distance with pirouettes. Hopefully it's in some big chunks. I think when we put distances like that, it's really important to have mandatory requirements of like, hey, you have to like walk 15 feet, do the pirouette, and finish another 15 feet all in the air, right? Instead of kind of like NorCal, where it was like, here, do your pirouette on this little square, and if you come off the square at all, sort of facing straight, it's fine. Weighted double unders. This is weird. Let's see. It goes rope, handstand walk, double under, rope. Wait, handstand walk. I feel like it's like a out and back, but I can't quite see it. Why does it not? So rope, handstand walk, double under, handstand walk rope, handstand walk, double under.
Until you did that, I'm suddenly.
I'm like trying to look at it.
Nope.
Okay, the handstand walk is split.
8, 27, 120, 27.
Why wouldn't the rope climb finish and the double unders be here?
8, 27, 120, 27, 8, 27, 120.
Yeah. All right.
There's
got to be a flow requirement for it for some,
like on the floor,
some capacity. Yeah. So, okay. So you rope climb, you handstand walk, and you double under, and then you handstand walk back to the rope, handstand walk back to the double under. Okay. All right. Blech. All right. Okay. That's fine.
So it was a 13-minute cap. What was the other one up above? Sorry.
20. Okay. This is a longer workout. All right. So 4-time 50 cal row, 20 burpee box jump overs, high box. No, 20-inch box. Are they going to jump all the way over the box? I don't understand. Anyways. All right. 50 dumbbell goblet squats at 100. That's cool. I like that. I wish you saw them twice. 50 cal ski, 25 burpee box jump overs, and 50 dumbbell thrusters. This is, like seeing a 20-inch box for both men and women. It just like tells me that there's a equipment restriction in some capacity. To me.
How? Why? Boxes?
Why would men and women do the same box jump over?
But I mean, don't most plyo boxes usually have both heights on the box? So it's not even like if you have
not if it's the rubber boxes.
Right. I understand if it's a different box. I guess I just would be surprised for that to be the selection.
Coming back to this, I would love to see this. That'd be unbroken. Like you have to do it unbroken.
The
But they won't.
pirouette situation.
Yeah, it'll just be in 30. Yeah, 30 feet. Oh, there it is. 30 feet sections.
Yeah.
Anyways, good workout. I love the goblet squats at 100. That's cool. Just a different feel. Numbers are good. 50 burpee box jump overs, dumbbell thrusters at the end are going to be pretty tough. But people will move through that. Double scale. People move through that pretty quick. It certainly won't take 16 minutes. All right. For a deadlift into bike, oh, that's fun. I like a max deadlift.
I've got 8 minutes to establish it.
And then 175 cal. That's fun. That'll be really cool. Didn't they do that last year? Yeah, they had a lift into like the run lift or like the sprint, right?
Not going to be able to recall that. Looking at you, CrossFit. Somebody.
Yeah, like they did. They had a jerk. Was it a jerk into a run? I don't remember what it was. Yeah, but this time frame, this will be cool to watch because clean into something like that. But it was shorter.
All I can think of is that, but anytime you see that, like as an athlete, you're just like your stomach, like there is a physical reaction to reading.
No.
Yeah, you're gonna like that's just. I mean, like we talk about the athlete IQ, and these athletes have just gotten so much smarter, and they just look at any given workout and they just know exactly. They know what to do. They know their strengths and their whatever anyway, and so much strategy becomes such a huge part of performing at the highest level for yourself. And then there's something like this. And I suppose there's some level of strategy there as well. Like, what you can hold, but also you got to want it.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It's, you know what it's going to feel like. And people that look at that and are just like, all right, let's get after it. Like when they just say, let's get it, they don't know. Or they're just totally psychotic.
Yeah, I don't.
When you look at that and you look at 100 calories, or it's like 100 calories for them, but like it's more like 50 for us because 100 is like, oh, it's just going to take
slog for most
5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, whatever it is,
it won't take
right? But for them and like James, like it's going to be sub 3, 230,
and the sensation you're going to have to endure for the back half of that at least.
Yeah. And so it's there. Jeffrey asked to switch it to go echo than deadlift. I wouldn't mind seeing like that echo bike. And the problem with that is like, it's not recoverable, right? Like it's truly, this is our true.
You gave an athlete 2 minutes off the bike and then told him to go do a 1 rep max. It'd be like
anything.
What?
It would be atrocious, right? Like that's when it gets irresponsible.
And then from a spectacle perspective, like we do want, if there's a max lift in an event, we want to watch athletes be able to perform. And so not that they can't perform under, a broad range of conditions, but I would think from the spectacle perspective too, you want them to have some gas in the tank for that.
Yeah. It's again, yes, you want to see a big number. But it's just going to be, again, just a little reckless and irresponsible to flip these in general.
Also, do you know who this is?
No idea.
I love it. Good morning. Or I don't know what time of day that it is for you, but good morning. Which flag is that?
What's the Italian flag?
Okay, that's what I thought.
But she has an Icelandic
photo.
All right. Ring muscle up, sandbag, bear hug carry. So 60 feet, 1 to 8. So what is that? What's the volume on that? 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36 muscle ups. Ireland. Just kidding. Terrible. I am colorblind. It's not red. It's not red. It definitely looked red to me. All right. Sorry, guys.
It is orange.
Whoops.
That is not the Italian flag.
Whoops.
I even said it and I
know.
didn't see that it was red.
Dude, I 100% thought it was red.
Okay. It's Ireland. It's Louise.
Louise.
Newly minted WODprep athlete.
Hello.
Welcome.
All right. So yeah, perfect. See? It's not just me.
Yeah, it's because the icon was so little. That was the problem.
Yeah, totally. I like this workout. It's different. I don't know if I mean, we'll see. I like how it's ascending into the ladder. It's going to be really fast, and then short. It's a really good test for the women. The men should probably have like 9. Like it should probably go like 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
I never think it's a great balance when the men and women have the same muscle ups because it's such a stark difference between the athletes.
Fair enough.
Right. It is a really big bag, 60 feet. I'm assuming it's an out and back. So it's probably 30 feet out, 30 feet back, or 9 meters out, 9 meters back. And so it's going to be a little slower, right? They're going to have to go over that. Turnaround makes a huge difference. It slows it down a pretty good bit. And the biceps are going to be pretty fatigued coming into the back half of that workout. So, yeah, this is definitely a workout. Like this design is something that I'll probably give Gucci in general. Like I like this from a training stimulus. I don't know how exciting it'll be to watch. Maybe it will be. I mean, there's a movable race.
Yeah, I think it stands a chance.
And so it just depends on, like where the muscle ups are, especially for the women.
My back's getting pumped up reading this.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it. Hinging.
I mean, you do that right before. Is that same day or is that the next day?
I don't know how it works.
Because it's 6 events. Well, I guess, do they do this over the course of 2 days?
3 days.
It's 3 days. So then it's probably a separate day.
Yep. I gave some variations of this. Yeah, descending would be boring. That would be a blast. Like they would blast through it. Ascending definitely is the right call for the workout. And then, I mean, Randy with some lunging. This is going to be fat.
Yeah, the barbell is 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the ladies.
Yeah, so it's Randy, right? Which is 75 power snatches here. And so basically they're going to 25, they're going to walk 9 meters, they're going to snatch again, they're going to 20, and then they'll walk, and then they'll snatch, and then they'll walk again over the finish line. And so that's cool. Right? Or no, or they walk back, they go one way back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I yell at my athletes about this shit all the time.
Talking about locking out in the support position.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And obviously I only yell at Nelson and Gucci. And
well, it's tough because the athletes that you wind up yelling at over this are the ones who have the ability to like it's just those guys that are just guys and girls that are just so good, so strong, so fast. Those are the ones that we have to keep an eye on
We'll say so fast. I actually think that the lack of lockout is a strength deficit in the pattern.
Okay, so they're not reaching extension at the is that what you're saying? Like it's not necessarily.
Yeah, so the ones that do this struggle to lock out a dip in general. Like they probably have a lockout deficit a little, even if it's just a little, right? Same people that probably don't have a good lockout.
Okay, and I was thinking it was just simply they were behind the rings when they're making their lockout, but okay.
Right, there we go. I mean, they would still press away, and it's just a push away, right? So it started with an efficient way, and then it sort of progressed into people just did it it's easier to push away, and then because you end up getting through the lockout in a weightless position. It's so funny when I have a lot of athletes text me pretty regularly, and sometimes I'll forget to respond to something, and when I do, they're like, "So did you just not want to respond to this one?" Because then I'll respond to something after it.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm like, "No, I didn't want to respond to that at all." And a lot of the times it's when an athlete's just over conflating a situation, I'm like, "I'm gonna let you figure this one out. We're just not gonna work through that one." Or if it's something totally random. Anyways, all right.
I think
So
your
those
selective
workouts are good.
responding for me is like I actually appreciate it from you.
What?
You're selective responding.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes you respond quickly to things and sometimes you don't respond at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of love that. I'm not kidding.
Well, I think the thing is I usually respond a lot quickly to most things. And so when I don't, I think it makes everyone just like process the situation a little
Well, it
longer.
just
And that's
tells
not
me
on
like this
purpose.
is not something that like you would respond pretty quickly all the time if it was something that needed a quick response. And so when you don't, it's just okay, this does not need to be attended to at all or in any whatever. Anyway, I mean, I don't mind it.
Mm.
It
I don't
is
think anyone
definitely
actually
a
does. I
yeah,
don't think
no.
anyone does.
No.
It's a lot of text messages.
Okay,
Okay,
did you see
I'm ready.
the yeah, I guess I don't know. Those workouts do look like fun. I don't know if much of anything else. I just wanted to take a look at them. And then the IWT thing from Hunter McIntyre.
I'll get there. IWT, like the training style.
Yeah, he just posted a video and referenced it. And I think since it's something that you program regularly, or I suppose I should say that like
We
WODprep
usually do an
programs
IWT
regularly.
cycle like once a year.
But that's because he can't keep up. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool post from him because he talked about, yeah, I guess we could just read it, but I don't know that we need to watch the video because he's just doing a variety. He's doing ski, push, press, I think, and
all right, so
burpee.
variation of IWT, interval weight training method. I used to use a few years ago. I gave up doing IWT and CrossFit to focus on endurance, and I think it made me a worse athlete overall and worse at the sport of high rocks. That's interesting. As a bigger athlete, I thought losing weight and running would increase my strength to weight ratio, but I ended up just losing more strength. I settle around 200 pounds, keyword, including as much strength as my body can handle. Keyword handle. If you notice in this video, I'm not maxing out. I only do that once a week, but I still keep this method at lower intensities. I wish you would show what it was. So for those that don't know what IWT is, it's called interval weight training. And so basically it is, we'll just pull it up because it's easier to, let's see. No,
I just love the nod there. It was unexpected.
Yeah, sure.
And it's also now, you had that recent collaboration. Well, I guess it was Sydney Wells and Dana Lynn Bailey that did the High Rocks, but then Dana turned around and went and did a CrossFit workout with Danny Spiegel, and that was on her channel. So continuing to dabble further in, and then here we have, your one of your top High Rocks athletes, the most notable one in that sports, in the last since it's existed anyway, also throwing a nod and saying like, well, I cut out CrossFit, but I've realized it's actually beneficial to me as an athlete. And then also Lauren Weeks, which we know she's a CrossFitter, but she went on the CrossFit podcast. I have not listened to that one yet, but I know she did. And it was all about like CrossFit for High Rocksers as well. At least that was, I think, in the title. And I'm assuming, because I didn't watch it yet, but I love seeing different athletes from different sports and so on continuing to, I think CrossFit's been around long enough that initially it was like, oh, whoa, that's shiny thing, or that's interesting, or that's crazy, or whatever it is. And then we've become more and more established, and it just continues to, I think, establish itself as like, yeah, if you want to be really fit, this is the best choice.
Yep.
Which is no surprise to us, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. And this article's old. Oh, well, this is a redo. The Breaking Muscle made this original article in like 2010. Or something like that. It was a really old article. Anyways, for those that don't know, IWT is basically a 6 rounds. It's really 9 rounds of a lift and then a 2-minute aerobic capacity implement, right? Or a monostructural implement. So it starts as like a power. So it's power clean, power snatch, kettlebell swing, maybe even like a really fast deadlift. Could be like a weighted box jump. Like there's a couple ways that you could do it, but usually it's some form of power Olympic pattern directly into a 2 to 4 minute row, bike, run, something like that at a pretty high effort. You repeat that for 3 rounds, you rest 2 minutes in between. And then after that 3 rounds, you rest 5. And then you do the same exact style, but you do it with a squat, right? Or deadlift or something more grindy, a little bit slower, still at a pretty high effort. And then the last one's body weight. And usually we do like a core fatigue component, and it's just a circuit. So it's not the same time structure. And so it's more of a like push up, V up, even in maybe like a plank or an air squat or something like that. And so it's just interval weight training. So that's what it is. We do it all the time. And then this last one we did was interval gymnastics training. So we did the same thing, but with gymnastics components. So we started with like muscle ups, and then we finished with like weighted pull-ups. So it was cool. It just gives an easy structure. So you start with like a lighter barbell, lower aerobic capacity time frame, and then you build to a heavier barbell and a higher time frame for the aerobic implement. So it's good.
Yep. Yeah.
How did you know we do that? Just from like just listening around? I feel like we haven't talked about that.
I pay attention to what we do.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've heard you reference it before. And then I also keep a close eye on our programming. Yeah. So I've already seen it.
Sick. Cool.
Yep. Which I've done, I think, all of it for this week as well. Yeah, I have. It's been fun.
You've done all the programming this week? I feel like I saw your name in it earlier in the week. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. Neat.
Yeah, it's
real neat.
That, and I've done all of my work on my handstand push-up stuff and my muscle up stuff. So
wow.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, I just definitely, I think we got to fix these things. So I guess we'll work on
them. Why is this doing this? Here we go.
And they could get their fitness to a level where they could go to one of these events. And on.
So, I'm all for John like getting his time in the light, like time in the spotlight.
John Wood.
Okay. No, I don't want John Young to have any more time in the spotlight. Zero. I can't handle it. But like, I mean, dude, I'm all for anyone trying to like push their message and people accepting it and all of that jazz. I love it. Oh, Jan, I need to talk to you. Actually, I need to message you.
Well, and he's an affiliate owner who has been a high level competitor for years. Like, he has valuable perspective.
Sure.
For sure. Whether you agree or disagree or whatever, obviously he's willing to say things that ruffle feathers and whatever, but
and so but like, I feel like because he's got some virality, like his, I don't know, like he just like feels his opinion is like way more up there than maybe it is, which is fine. Like, I think, but I mean, he's got 2,500 likes on this post.
Well, do you think, okay, so John Young would be somebody who probably, like, most people would say that that's how he is, right? Like, he feels like his opinion is
sure.
Right. Or even, anyway, we'll just use him as the example. So I guess I didn't know John Young until seeing him on shows and then now being around him. Anyway, I would venture to assume he's probably had that disposition since well before he was notable on the internet. So maybe this is just John's temperament, John Wood's temperament, right, well before anybody started to pay attention to anything he said.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he made that first video, Crash, that like Tyler shared, whatever it was. And it was pretty good. And that's when we brought him on the show for whatever the Rogue. Was it Rogue? Like Rogue, John Young couldn't come on. Anyways, so yeah, it's good. I mean, there's, again, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I do agree with some. And I think we have to find a way to bring back some form of geographical based qualifying system, at least for the individuals. Right. And
for all the open and the age group, or for just the age group?
No, none of the. I don't think the age. I think the age group has to be online.
Okay.
Because
The
there's just not enough
geographical
people.
needs to be. What about for teams?
Teens.
Teams. TEAMS. Teams.
Mm.
Also geographical. If we're coming back to if the motivator is because we are a community-based thing, then
Yeah,
I
I mean, you
say
can
strong
do.
yes.
The challenge with teams is just like then they're, teams are not as easy to run in affiliates or small events because you need more equipment. You need,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
think
you need
they're
to have
just,
space for them to train.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it would be nice to say that. But
I know they're getting wild over there.
I know, it's funny. I don't think, I think the age group is going to go back online just from the showing, right? We'll see what like South America does in Magic City, since we don't know what their leaderboard looks like currently. But Del Mar is, it's just going to show that's like, oh, we're just not at that point where people want to travel for this. And then timing's probably a big thing. And so I think there is something we got to figure out how to improve this for sure. Maybe it's classic, or maybe it's like invites only. Maybe, I don't know. We all can't be mayhem and, spend a couple $100,000 on a stream and just invite 40 people. And so, someone said up here that athletes want to compete more. It was way up here. I don't think they do. I think they just want to, I don't think they want to compete more. I don't think that's the thing. Clearly, we've shown that they don't. That's why they're not doing WFP, right? That's why they're joking through the quarterfinals. You know what I mean? I don't think they want to compete more. Now, there's like a range of athletes that might.
I was gonna say it depends on the level.
I think there might be. I think the statement is they want more qualifying opportunities.
They want more opportunities
to qualify, right? I don't think they actually want to compete more, but I think the system or the season, they want to find more ways to qualify, not just traveling to Del Mar or Syndicate, right? Or being hopefully invited to Mayhem. Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm running an event in person and my age group showings like this, I'm out. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm really, I want to see them be successful. That's for sure. And so seeing it at this very moment is a bit unsettling because I really hope that they're all doing okay. And who knows, maybe, we will realistically get to hear from them at some point following it. We just want to know right now.
Right.
But yeah. So the clip from John, I think, did you want to pull that and play it or no?
We watched the whole thing.
Did we?
No. I said, do you want to watch the whole thing?
Oh. I guess we just.
Their life on fitness, trying to train for regionals. It's infectious. It rubs off onto their family. It rubs off onto their friends. More people go to the events and watch. More people buy into the CrossFit methodology rather than when you have semifinals at the StubHub Center and only 50 athletes from the entire western half of North America qualify. The representation of athletes at that point is far less. It's so easy to do. Bring regionals back, contact large local affiliates per grouping, easily big enough to hold a competition similar to the style that we saw at CrossFit. Brings CrossFit back to its.
I don't disagree with anything he's saying, but there's a way to do it. There's something there that we need to bring back, right? In some form of similarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think Clydesdale says, NFL practice squad players will play spring ball to get a shot. Patrick Mahomes will never play spring ball. Same concept. So yeah, as far as like wanting more opportunities for the athletes that are up and coming that really need to establish their name, they need to get seen, they need to get sponsors, all those things like those athletes, you look at, for example, Hannah Black having been the most traveled and competed athlete individually last year. Like she was definitely trying to get out there. Right. because she's trying to break in.
Mm-hmm.
And versus someone like, you know, the established athletes that just don't need all of that. And then they can draw from the hat and not really care and so on.
Right.
So it just depends on who you are. And so I think having things available for them to do is wonderful. And then understanding the level of athlete is going to dictate how much they're going to want to play.
Yeah. And
like, that's cool. You earned your right. You don't have to compete all the time. What?
So true. Saw the Luke Parker.
That's funny. Yeah. She has talked about it though, about that's like not the approach this season. Did that last season, but does not want to do that again.
I can't imagine someone like Hannah, and not that I know anything about her financial situation, can afford to do that more than like once. I mean, God, I can imagine she had to have spent $15,000-$20,000 to do all that.
I have no idea. I know she does work with Cooper, but
yep.
As far as like as an agent, but I have no idea what that situation is like at all.
So I mean, I want to say, so JD asked somewhere up here, is it because the season is so condensed, right? So the time frame from open to quarters to semis, right, from start to finish, if we, you know, the last weekend of February to the third weekend of April, right? So like we're under 2 months, right, for three stages of the season. And I mean, it is condensed. You know, I think for masters, it would probably benefit to have done the online first and then given them the opportunity to then go compete in person. Right. So like squeeze the season. So for masters, squeeze the season and then let them start to find where they can go for their last chance to qualify. Right. I think that would have been a good flip. And then for individuals, the vice versa is probably more appropriate, right? Like let all of their online or their in-person stuff happen, and then online is their last chance qualifier. Because I think they're right. You know, when you're qualifying one spot in the bottom southwest corner of the entire country, it's tough to convince people to drive on out there, right, and fly and do all the things. But if it's the only spot, I think that ends up being pretty cool. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, wait. So 3 immediate changes that you would make to age group qualification. Should I even say 3? Or maybe should I just say simply, what would you do if you were to create the structure for the season for qualification purposes for age group athletes? What would that look like? I think that your opinion is very relevant as you are deeply invested in this and coach many age group athletes at a high level. Put you on the spot.
Yeah. I think I have 3 because I like how many of my athletes get to go play in the round 2 in quarterfinals. I think 25% should stay. I think that number should go to like top 100 or even back to top 50. Now the limiter with that is then video review is required, which I think is appropriate. So bring back public scrutiny, right? Just open it up. Just open up that. So that's number 1. Semifinals should be a smaller pool, right? Quarterfinals can be 25%.
Take it from that 200, 300, 400 and drop it to 1.
Yeah, 100. Okay. Right? Not even top 200, top 100. And 60 of them will do it. And then those will go to, it'll all be online. And then your top whatever needs to go to the CrossFit Games. All video review, all the thing, right? And so I mean, those are the things. I don't think masters need an in-person event, and so I think it would be cool, but there just isn't enough, right? Like that's the problem. There just isn't enough. So you have to like
enough what?
There's not enough masters for a masters event to be appropriate.
Gotcha. Yes.
And so because of that, you have to basically make the perfect decision, and it has to be like the center of the entire planet, and then everyone can equally get there on all measurable things, right? Lodging is the same, travel is the same, time is the same. You know what I mean? And that's impossible because there just isn't enough people.
Sure.
And so there's just, there's a lot of Latin American masters that end up making it to the games. There is a Latin America qualifier, but there's not one in Europe, right? But there's still masters. Like, well, there's now Lido doesn't have an opportunity to train. You know what I mean? And so and Lido's arguably one of the fittest masters on the planet.
Lido, are you still here? And if so,
left.
dang it. Do you know from your athletes, is the general consensus that they would prefer to just based on how this is unfolding, to just transition over to online processes with video review, et cetera, all the way up to the point at which they make it to the games? So every level up until that, because there can still be things like NorCal, right, where they can go and compete in person outside of the game season, or Legends, that what it was, there could be opportunities to compete for them throughout the year that aren't necessarily getting them to the games in person, and then still separately, because there's also, so many competitions run different levels of masters and do it pretty well. And so anyway, still have those opportunities for games specifically, just reduce it down to, like you said, move it to that 100 past quarterfinals, make it all video review. I also believe that we do have enough certified judges and people who are really invested in this that we could police the top 100s in all those different age divisions. I actually think that's possible with the videos and so on.
I also think that there is a lot of merit to the sign up for semifinals and sign up for quarterfinals, and being able to separate those two. So like there's been this, like I think Halpin put it out, but some people have said it before. Basically, when you sign up for quarterfinals, you can pay an extra $20 or an extra $50 or whatever it is. So it's $25 to just do quarterfinals, and it's $50 to do the qualifier to move on, right? And because people just want to do it, but there's a lot of people that know that there's no way they're going to make it. They don't want to do the video. They don't want to do all the dumb shit, right? They don't want to do things they hate.
Sure.
And so there's basically like, there's the leaderboard. Here's the entire leaderboard, right? And then here's a leaderboard that can move on, right? And then it self-selects out the people that didn't do all their video stuff. And so at that point, then it's like, okay, now I know I only need to review these people. And there will be people, right, like to be judged and have the thing and to be eligible to move on, right? And that's just so people can, because people just want to sign up. Like, so many people don't want to do the thing, right? And so what we did was not a great example, because everyone there had an opportunity, and people that didn't even think they had an opportunity, I knew they did. We have a lot of athletes in our thing that are very naive in like where they rank in their ability relative to others and in the space, because they're very new in CrossFit and they're just very fit. But a lot of people know where they rank, and they know that they limped in, and they just want to do the next thing. They just want to go and they want to play with their friends, and they want to like join in the cool kids club.
Totally.
But they don't want to do all the things because it's stressful, and it's exhausting.
Yes.
Right? The video thing is like, you take a weekend that could for sure be done in 2 days, right? But with videos, it just amplifies all of it. It doubles the time it takes to do everything. And so and it doesn't even have to be in different divisions. Like, you can have an everybody division, and there are going to be people that put up a score that crushes games level athletes, right? It's like, but they didn't sign up, so it doesn't matter in that score. It's like, okay, cool. But now that person knows, like, oh man, maybe I got a shot next year, right? Or they never put in a video, and then we all know that person's probably faking it, right? Like, who wouldn't want to have an opportunity to go to the CrossFit Games? So, and then there's just a self-selecting. Then you click the next button, and then here's all the videos, and here's all it is. And I think you could do that for individual quarterfinals too.
Implementing that is to me no more complex than implementing what happened this year.
Right. Yeah. It's just another button. It's just another button. Right. Like, you put it on the leaderboard on the CrossFit Games website, and it's just, you click like trying to move on, or eligible to move on, or not eligible to move on. Right. Or, I don't know, name it something clever or whatever, or and then it'll be found, right? People want to judge, people want to get on there and scrutinize videos. Like they want to get up there and they want to like, they want to just beat people down, and that's okay. And so it just seems like such an easy one. And I think it would filter out 50% of everyone that wants to do the next thing. And so immediately, okay, so now we're 50% less people that we have to worry about and judge and look at, right? And if they're too low on the leaderboard anyways, once their scores come in, their video won't get judged and it doesn't matter, right? And then it still doesn't matter, right? And I don't want to say it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the outcome. We'll go with that. It doesn't affect the outcome. And that's the whole goal. The whole goal is what can we do to improve the outcome of the competition? And so I don't know. It seems simple, but maybe it's not. Yeah.
I think this is another example where it's, like you kind of have to, so we're all just like, okay, we're tinkering with the system that currently exists, and I think it could be a decent idea to just like zoom out and get away from what already currently exists and just take what you do know about qualification and so on, which I think you have a lot of awareness, and then just construct something altogether new. I know we do a lot, we do changes every year, right? But like, at least at this time, we are feeling as though for age groups specifically, we may need a new structure. We'll see. But anyway.
But yeah, I mean,
I can't wait till we get to a place where there's stability.
Yeah.
Like in all ways, like we man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's
in the meantime, we still love it here. Like we still have a great time, and we still do. I don't know. I was talking to one of your athletes, I think like last week or something, about CrossFit in general and how much it's like, even though she spends a ton of time working on the things that are less fun for her, that obviously that's the right thing to do. And then we were just kind of like, at the end of the day, even if it's still working on even if the things that you love the most, you don't get to spend much time doing those, and you do spend more time doing these things that you need to work on as a competitive athlete, it is still fun. We're still having fun, even though it's that, right? Maybe not every day, all the time, but it's still a good time. And so then with all of this, it's like, we still love it here, even if we're very aware of the turbulence and the need for improvement and whatever. Yeah.
JD said, how does this fix the massive gap in semi? It does. Well, for masters, you just don't put them on. I mean, you just don't put them in person, right? Like that's just it. Or you find a way to not put it a week away from the other way to qualify, right? Like your 3 masters qualifying opportunities are happening in a 3-week window, right? And someone will go to Del Mar and Magic City and do the online for sure. One of my athletes almost did it.
Wait, say that again. One of your athletes almost did what?
They almost did. They almost signed up. They're doing Magic City because that was a goal of the season.
Yep.
Right. Because she's very volume tolerant, and she got the invite to Del Mar, which we didn't think she would get. And we had a long talk about it, and she's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, all right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, this design is for sure a big challenge with it. But
Jamie and Corey's head just spun around. Do you understand that?
No.
What does that mean? Jay Birch, make that make sense. Sorry. I want to know what that means. You've got a sugar daddy and some Delta. That's funny. Oh.
I mean, just to be clear, most masters
they've got
that are doing this are not they don't got shallow. Most of them don't have shallow, but they're doing okay. They're doing okay. John does bring out Grumpy Claire. So
does he?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of the quarter, your view on the most important things in CrossFit and his view on the most important thing in CrossFit are
not the same thing at all.
They're 100%. They are both important things in CrossFit, but you both weight them substantially different in the opposite direction. And so the answer is no. I don't think we'll see. But right now it's looking like in-person semis for age group is not a great idea. But we still have 2 weeks, right?
Yep. Yeah. Soon, very soon, we will be able to look at this in reflection and have more to work with. But for now, this is rough. Versus Screensaver John, I'm assuming.
Screensaver John is
that the one where you look like you had an exorcism?
No. That's the one where he's not. Remember when he's just not interested?
Oh yeah. That's
it turns into a screensaver. That was a good
very real thing. That's when I talk about things that I find interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when he turns into a screensaver. Somehow we managed to get through it though on the same show, which is kind of interesting.
I know it is interesting,
but we really do. You did a good job of picking, I guess, to some degree, polar opposites. Not that we don't disagree across the board. And hey, we did have in our little group chat this week, I did send my there are certain details about quarterfinals that I feel that I'm actively internally walking back, of my defense of it. And I'm like, okay, wait, this was rough. But anyway.
Cancel John. No, don't cancel John. I love John. He's a good guy. All right, what else do we got?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, mayhem workouts. The thing of the thing that's on the screen.
Oh yeah, which Gus said that his core up above, he said his core was ruined from I'm like, I can't even imagine. But that also yet again, thankfully, for anybody, I think we probably already all know this, but GHD volume is something that we absolutely do great at exposure with, so if that looks like a fun workout, but it's way past what we currently do, it's not a good idea. Unless we are a really high level athlete, which I think Gus is.
Jeremy, I promise I'm not ducking you, buddy. I'm just, dude, I'm beat up right now. I've got a torn pec. I've got I don't know. I haven't trained worth a shit in a minute.
Let me be clear. CJ says that, but if you give him exercise, if you give him specific movements that he's fine to do, CJ is very fit. So also, Jeremy, just know that you're asking to get your butt kicked.
Oh, that was sweet. Jeremy's
you are. I mean, I've worked out with you and I'm like, dang, I have to try really hard if I want to keep up with you. It's really annoying.
All right. So Dirty 30 was one of the workouts that I brought up when we were on the call, but it's such a cool one. Sandbag squats, ring muscle up, sandbag squats, bar muscle up, sandbag squats. Gucci will 100% be doing this workout next week. I really like it. And it's a good workout. I mean, the squat volume is enough that 30 at 150 it's tough, right? It's going to be hard for people to go unbroken the whole time, after round one, after they get done with those first 30 squats, holding the bag that long of an isometric hold going into muscle ups, dude.
Totally.
Some disgusting. Arms I wonder what the time cap is. I bet it's pretty long. And
also, you said you'd program this for Gucci, and all I can think of is how much her gymnastics have come up and how things like this today are fun for her.
Possible. Yeah, dude, when I first programmed for Gucci, this would have been singles and doubles.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what the time cap is. I'm trying to think. So 30 sandbags, we'll just call that 90 seconds, 30 muscle ups. After that much, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes probably. So we're looking at 4 minutes, because every time you do anything, just assume everyone's going to go 15% faster. This next 30 will slow down a little bit, probably to 2 minutes. I can't imagine anyone actually goes unbroken in this bag here. Maybe they do.
Wait, in which one? The first or second?
The second one. The second one. Now, bar muscle ups are substantially easier from a, I think, grip fatigue than the ring muscle up. I don't know. It's probably a 12-minute time cap, 12, 13 minutes. Corey. And I think someone will just absolutely blow our mind and be sub 10. I don't know. Maybe not sub 10. Is that possible? It's so hard to
go sub 10 on this. How many seconds do we think that the sandbag squats per rep there?
I mean, it's certainly a slower squat than
sub 10 might be insane.
We say that. I never say a number is insane.
Yeah, because people do it. You have to walk it back when you do.
Yeah. You think they go unbroken? I don't think they're going to go unbroken.
Just reminds me of the internet fight you got in recently that we had to about unreasonable numbers.
Say that again. Was that supposed to be on the mic?
Yeah.
Oh, you were like far away.
Oh,
It
sorry.
sounded like you were whispering.
No, I was looking at my phone because I was trying to pull up, see if I could find the time gap anywhere. No, the fight that you got in recently on the internet where we all had to go in and somewhat defend you.
I never brought that up on the show.
Yeah, you got clipped or whatever it was, or not clipped. I guess the screenshot of it and then shared whatever. Anyway, for you saying that the time was way too ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Anyways, good workout, fun workout. Oh yeah, this is so
been in and out. Have y'all talked about Crouch getting a 1 mile penalty, or I'm sorry, a 1 minute penalty for missing one rep?
My only problem with this is his is the only video that got reviewed. Or there's like 5 people that got reviewed. Basically, the 4 below him, everyone that could win money, and then one other person that slid in after he dropped out.
What was the rep that he missed?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. I just know that there was a huge penalty and no one else's videos are being reviewed. And I just think it's so shitty.
It's definitely tough. The idea that for 1 rep, which of course, I don't know, I guess a 1 rep on a
it was, I think it
shuttle
was
run is different than 1 rep on an overhead squat or something like that. But either way, that's, also then that just is quite unfortunate because
Jenny,
the judge is counting for them as well. 1 overhead squat. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking less than 2 seconds.
Yeah. And so if he gets 3 seconds slower, if he gets 3 seconds slower,
if they penalize him by 3 seconds,
then they penalize him by his 1 rep.
He definitely doesn't go down to 38.
Did they take $15,000 away from his pocket because of 1 rep? You know what I mean? And 1 rep, and then all of his other videos were reviewed and confirmed. And it's just one, and should he get a penalty? 100%. Should it be 3 seconds? Probably.
Right.
Or 2 seconds, or in theory, 1.5 seconds, right?
Especially,
that's what they're overhead squatting at.
In live competition, like the athlete is performing and the judge is there to ensure that they're doing the appropriate number of reps. And that's one less thing for them to think about. That hurts to think about.
That's pretty funny.
Not saying that they have no responsibility there, but that's a hard one. Ten is a tie. Okay, so Tristan did the math. He thinks that 10 minutes on this one is aggressive.
Is Colton going? I don't know. Is Hatfield going to be there? Anyone that can squat like
Colton's going, Hatfield's going. Yes.
Oh, then yeah, they'll both have an opportunity, especially just because the sandbag squats are going to go so fast. Maybe. I mean, there's for sure he shouldn't have done it. There's no doubt in my mind. But my problem is that now he's 38th or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Which is still an amazing thing, but he didn't win. He took money out of his pocket, and he's 38th. And in theory, it could have prevented him from getting an invite to a qualifier. But now the 37 other people in front of him didn't have their videos reviewed. That's the problem. Right. And now it's like, oh, well, they took money away from him. But what about 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? We need to review all their videos. It's the same thing that came up on quarterfinals when we had the reaping of everybody getting dinged, right? 2 years ago, of like someone like Paige or Pat Vellner being dropped to 600th. And it's like, well, what about all the 590 people? How do we know they didn't? Why am I 600th? Like, are we going to start reviewing everyone in between there? And that's a huge problem. Like that's a fundamental, like, incorrect way to go about this. And I don't know how to fix it. But if you're going to drop the person in first down to 38th, those 37 need to be reviewed in some capacity. And there won't be. And that's,
I wonder if conversation will get, like, maybe on Week in Review, if somebody were to like comment to Dave and ask like why a minute penalty, help us make that make sense, if he would be able to answer it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if he's involved with that at that level, or if he would,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. because you'd love to hear a little bit of like, hey, why was this the penalty that was assessed? Like why?
Right.
I mean, obviously it is the one that was, it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, that is very tough.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, all right.
Hey, we got to wrap.
What?
We got to wrap.
Oh, you got to go.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I got to go.
Trish came. So we're out.
Sorry, Trish. It's good to see you. But yeah, I think we got through the bulk of, because we already know, the 5K, they didn't disclose the details. We'll see what that looks like. That's exciting. That's it.
I like it.
As far as topics that we were gonna.
It's a good one. And then that GHG one's pretty wild. 3-3-3-4 with 3 interfering patterns is tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Jay Birch, will I see you there tomorrow?
Where are you going?
You're farm games thing.
Farm games.
Yeah. I need to look and see what I'm actually doing. I have no idea.
You're gonna crush it. Super.
That'll be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah.
You want a live stream? Just kidding. I'm not getting on this podcast. I'm not getting on a podcast this weekend. Sorry.
Birch will be there. Cool. I'll see you there. Awesome.
All right.
I'll mess around and find
Duke
out.
always knows when I'm about to get off when I'm.
I saw the tail wagging.
He always does.
Love it.
Hi, buddy.
Hello, sir.
Oh, y'all.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. You stinky. You smell like a Frito.
Man, yawn's getting interesting over there. Okay. All right. I'll see you. I don't know when I'll see you next, but we'll see you guys here next Monday night.
Monday night.
There you go. Sound like Clydesdale. CrossFit talk or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.